Hey crew, what's up?
This is the Train Together podcast. I'm Lana Parks.
And I'm Jack Faulkner.
We're best mates, parents, and experienced personal trainers based in Byron Bay, Australia.
We're your training buddies that will never let you down.
The Train Together podcast is here to help you feel good, move well, and do more of the stuff you love with simple and sustainable training that complements your lifestyle instead of taking over it.
No matter where you're at with your training journey, we will give you everything you need to be confident with your training and get strong for life.
With us in your ears, you'll know what to do, when to do it, and how to lift properly.
We're here to give you high quality guidance and do all the hard work so you can just show up, put your headphones in, and train hard.
But don't worry, there'll also be plenty of banter, shits, and giggles along the way.
The Train Together podcast.
It's a workout in your ears. We would like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we are recording today, the Arakwal people of the Bundjalung Nation. We would also like to pay our respects to elders past and present. The easiest way to track your session is via our Train Together app, where you get access to 3 full body weight sessions a week, in-depth video tutorials, track your workouts so you know what to lift each week, and can be a part of the Train Together community where you'll join amazing like-minded people that will help you to stay accountable and motivated. The link is in the description. If you want to pause to sign up, please do so. It'll only take a couple of minutes. And if at any point today you would also like to have a look at the in-depth video tutorials of the exercises in this session, they are in the show notes. So if you need a bit of extra guidance, check them out. Hey crew, what is up? We are into week 2 of program 28, okay? So second week of our program here. Big session today, okay? We're gonna be building on last week and making sure we're really getting the most out of the session today. So what is the main goal, Jack?
I have one question first. When is it not a big session?
Big session. We always say big session.
All right, well, it's quite often big, but we're still building on week 1. So our goal, after we found our 5 reps in reserve last week, is to use that this week. So we want to basically do our warm-up sets that we planned from last week and then do 3 or the prescribed amount of working sets at 5 reps in reserve or less. Okay, so ideally 5 or 4 today to give us somewhere to work to as we go through the program. But the last exercise and maybe the accessory work Valana's going to talk about, we can kind of push it a little bit further and have less in the tank.
Yeah, cool. So what we have coming up, guys, is a big session. So we have, to kick things off, our first exercise is a prone row. So we're going to be working our back there with our big pull. We move on to a standing shoulder press, which is a vertical press overhead, working our shoulders. Surprise, surprise. A lateral lunge from there, our one and only leg exercise. So that's where we're either stepping out or staying on the static spot for the Cossack squat. And supersets will come in next. So we have a chest fly with our Russian twist, nice little combo there, and then we finish off with some more chest, just as many reps as possible for our push-up, all right? So, big session.
It sounds like a big session.
It does.
And the easiest way to track your session today, guys, is via the Train Together app. It's very easy to use. You've got the in-depth video tutorials. You can log every single thing you do there, as well as plan for next week, leave your notes, and also see all of your exercise history and be part of the Continuum crew. If you don't want to do that, that's totally fine. This session is free for you. The in-depth video tutorials are in the show notes with the links, but please track for us either pen and paper or in your notes.
What gets tracked
gets improved.
Yeah, all right. It's time to get warm, guys. So if you're at the gym on a piece of cardio equipment, you can hop off now. If you were just at your home gym, let's find a bit of space to warm up. So you are going to need a resistance band here, and a mat is optional, and something to tie that resistance band onto. So make your way to that station. But while we do so,
it's all shits and giggles.
Until someone giggles and shits. So
we actually forgot this last week, which is so bad. It was the first one of the year, and we were like getting it done, thinking we did a good job, making sure we didn't forget anything, trying to stay on top of it, and we missed it. So we can use any from the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
do you want to go first?
We've had heaps of time. I can go first. So good thing for me is, look, we've just had a nice little, this is going to be yours too, right? Nice little Christmas break. Had heaps of family time. It's been really lovely, as Jack would say. So that's just been great. I'm feeling good, feeling refreshed, ready to go, back into routine now. So I'm just feeling good about 2025. And my shit is just something really minimal and mundane, but I'm just covered in mosquito bites. And I'm just so itchy, okay? So if you see me scratching or itching about, I've just been absolutely demolished by mosquitoes. So it's pretty shit.
Yeah, that is a bit shit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to start with my shit and then move to my giggle. So finish on a good note for the session. My shit is my girl, one of our twins. She has been a bit fevery, and then she got like a little bit of a rash, and then we were like putting some cream on it and everything. Went to the doctor, and she got a bit of staph, so she's like a bit sore, and she's on antibiotics for the first time, which I wasn't too sure about for her gut. But yeah, poor little girl. She's started those, and she's feeling a lot better though. So that's on the up. And then my giggle is the Eden, my older daughter. It's all about the daughters. I absolutely love them, if you can't tell. But I obviously have a big affinity with the ocean, and she started to really start to love it as well. Start. But this week we basically had her on the mini boog on the bodyboard that she loves, and I was basically had her out in front. I was body surfing, she was flying, giggling away.
Girl.
Yeah, I know. So I'm not going to force it, and I haven't been, but hopefully she carries on with that love, and I can be like, sorry, as Eden wants to go to the beach, she's going to pop down for a quick swim, get a couple of waves, and I'll be very, very happy with that.
See, my goal is to get Henry into golf, so Henry and Ryan will go off onto the golf course together.
You can come surf with me.
Maybe, yeah. All right, guys, let's get warm.
Before we dive into our session, we're going to get nice and warm, okay? So we're just going to run through a couple of mobility movements that will help for the day, and then we'll go into a couple of movements that get us prepped so we can work well and work properly through our exercises today. So we're going to kick ourselves off with an archer. So if I move around a little bit with my mic, I am sorry, but basically the archer is really good for opening up through the thoracic spine, okay? So through that upper back, and it's the rotation part. You hear my knees click on the way down. I feel like an old man some days. So lying down on the floor on our side with our knees tucked up in line with our hips here. You can do this with our both hands long out in front, or with our arms bent and fingertips tucked behind our head here. So you're going to open up, draw a bow and arrow, turn and look the other way, up and over. Breathe out, and then breathe in, come back. Repeat that, but as you do it, you're going to keep your knees touching and your bottom knee touching the floor. If you can turn all the way over with comfort, you can straighten out the bottom leg and just pop the top knee on the floor and keep that one pinned down. Same movement, breathing out and turning. On the next one, you're going to hold when you come all the way over and breathe out. Breathe in this position. And breathe out, relax into that stretch again. Nice, and then roll over to the other side, and we're going to repeat. So all we do is either roll over or swivel, tuck the knees up, or just straighten out the bottom leg and put the top knee on the floor. And whether you had your arms bent with fingertips behind the head or both hands out in front, whatever one you were doing, you go back to that. Draw your bow and arrow, or open up with that body. Breathe out, turn the head, look behind, and then breathe back in, come back. Repeat that movement, keeping your top knee on the bottom knee and both knees touch, and then the bottom knee touching the floor, or just that one knee down the whole time. Breathe out as you extend and turn through that thoracic spine, the upper back. On this last one, we're going to do a double exhale. So open up, breathe out. Breathe in and hold that position. Exhale, sink into it again. And slowly bring yourself back to center. From here, we're going to do our adductor hip rock. So bring yourself up onto all fours. We're going to take our foot out to the side and stay on the other knee. So we have 4 points of contact, but one leg is way out to the side. And all we do is stick our butt out and then rock our our bum back towards our heel, and then back up to our 4-point position at the top with the foot out to the side. Rock back and just go through that, and you should feel a stretch here through the inside of the stretched leg, the one that is out to the side. So moving back into it, stick that butt right out. 2 more, and this will loosen us off a little bit for our lateral lunge that we have and our third exercise of the day today. Swapping sides for me, so back to all fours, Other leg goes out to the side, and then rocking back and forth, sticking your bum out, keeping that back nice and flat. Find that stretch through the inside of the leg that is out, so the adductors and that groin there. And keep on rocking. Hopefully you're increasing the range slightly before we go into our bird dog. So back to all fours, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Tilt that pelvis back and forth a little bit and find a position where you are halfway between the furthest arch you can do and the most rounded you can make the back. Small arch in that back, and you're going to breathe into your tummy. And then you're going to imagine you're wrapping a corset around that midline and bracing super tight. You hold that position with the back, and then you extend opposite limbs, pushing that heel back, lifting the arm in front, come back down, and then swap sides. Staying tight to that core, no arch, no twist through the body at all, and just keep on alternating. Breathe in as you come down, brace tight, exhale, get super tight on the way up. Make sure that we don't lift that foot too high behind us, okay? So keep going with those. No arching or changing through the back. Coming back down. One more. And then staying in this position here, we're going to go into our eccentric push-up. So this is the lowering part of our push-up. If you are not very good at push-ups, or they are not your strongest point, then feel free to do this on your knees and then come up with these however you would like to. So whether you're on your knees or in full, we want a nice straight body. Hands are just outside shoulder width. We come down nice and slowly, pushing our nose out to make a triangle with our hands, elbows at 45 degrees. Slow, slow, slow. And then coming back however you need. So rolling up or rocking back to your knees, and then repeat. Slow, controlled movement. Chest goes out towards the floor. Elbows at 45. Control. And then go back to your starting point however you need. We're going to do 2 more of these. Really fight that slowness on the way down. Elbows at 45. Chest goes out to tap. As soon as that chest touches, you can relax. Rock back, come back to your starting point, and 1 more for me. Make this the slowest one yet. Fight gravity the whole way down. Nose goes out in front. Nice work. Standing up for me and grabbing out a band. So you should have one, as we said, you needed that in the intro. So it's just one that gives a little bit of resistance. We're going to do a banded single arm row. So you're going to need to attach this to something that is about belly button height. This can be a rig, it could be a plate rack, it can be anything that you can loop it around or tie it to. And then we're just going to do a banded single arm row. So grab that band in one hand, step back far enough so that it's nice and tight. From here we are square to the rig, shoulders back and down, drive the elbow low and squeeze in tight to the side, and we get the back muscles working. Stretch back to the starting point where the arm is long, shoulder down, elbow low, tuck in and squeeze, feel that back turn on, and just cycle through those. We're going to do about 10 here. When you come back, you want that whole shoulder to move back. You don't want to just move the arm and the shoulder pop up and over, okay? So we want to make sure that we don't pop up. We get set back and down as we squeeze in tight. 2 more on this side. Then all we do is swap the hands, step to the side so the hand is lined up with that band. And we do the same. Tightness to start, shoulder down, elbow low, squeeze tight with the arm. And then extend back out. Feeling the muscles down underneath the armpit, down the side of the back, around the shoulder blade work. Repeat the reps here. Stretch forwards, shoulder down, elbow low, squeeze tight. Good, and again. 2 more. And the last thing we're going to do, there's 2 options here. If you have a booty band or a loop band, then you're going to use that one. That'll be my preference for this. If not, you're going to need a easy resistance band that is nice and thin, okay? So for the loop band, you just pop your wrists in it. You got a shoulder set back and down and elbows tight. If you're using a loop band, you do the same movement, shoulder blades back and down, elbows tight to our sides, and then you just pinch the band between your thumb and index finger, and you're going to pull it apart as you go. But with the loop band, all we need to do, keep that same position with the elbows tight, take the wrist nice and wide, and then control back in. Wrist nice and wide, control back in. We want to keep tension on that band the whole time. And we're trying to work the external rotators of the shoulder here, okay, to stabilize for our shoulder press and chest pressing movements. Warmed up for that prone row 2. And you should start to get it to burn after about 8. If not, then it's not hard enough. Next week, grab a harder one for me. 3 more. Tension the whole time, shoulders back and down, elbows stay pinned to the sides. All we're doing is rotating that upper arm in the socket. Don't let it come away from the body. And done there. And that is us ready to rock and roll for our first exercise of the day. Let's get into it, hey?
Yeah.
Week 2. All right, we're going to go into that prone row. Everybody was looking pretty good last week, so we're going to build on that. Make sure you check in your notes, so click the exercise name so you know what you're doing for this exercise. We did plan. If you didn't plan, just click the little circle with the tick top left and you can see what you did last week, or look through your notes, whatever you did to write down your movement from last week, okay? Remember, you're gonna need the bench on the incline, box set up with your dumbbells on there. We're gonna do 1 warm-up set today. Next week we will be doing 2, and then we'll go to our working weight. So whatever weight that is, make sure it's locked and loaded, ready to rock and roll. Pause us if you need to get it ready and it's not ready yet. If not, we're just gonna dive straight into our first warm-up set. So for your bench here, guys, we've got our dumbbells, for our setup here, you've got our dumbbells on a box in front of us, okay, and then we've got our bench there. If you're just gonna straddle and lean on with the dumbbells in hand, that's totally fine too, okay? So get yourself set up on that bench with your chest all the way up and over the top. Support yourself however is comfortable with the legs, okay? So you can have them bent and wide or straight and long, whatever feels best for you. Tuck those hips into the bench and grab those dumbbells off the box. From there, start with them underneath the shoulders, all right? You want to pull the shoulders down towards the hips, drive the elbows back towards the hips, and then squeeze that back super tight for me. Slowly come back down to the start and keep on going through these reps. We're going to do 8 in this warm-up set. Shoulders come all the way forwards, back towards the hips, and squeeze that whole back in that rowing motion, okay? If you find yourself rounded over at the top a little bit, lift that chest off the bench slightly, but don't make that low back do all the work, all right? Probably 1 or 2 more here. Stretch, squeeze, and get nice and tight with all those upper back muscles, okay? So that's your warm-up set done. Swap those out for your working weights, and we should be ready to rock and roll very shortly. Here's Lana whilst I get my warm-ups did.
Hey crew, what is up? Week 2. Wonder if you were sore from this session last week, hey? It shouldn't be as bad this week, all right? The second week is always that little bit better. It's always normal to feel that little bit of soreness after training. So we are looking at what we're going to go into next for our prone row. So our first working effort, we are doing 8 to 10 reps. And this week we're thinking more like 4 to 5 reps in the tank, yeah? So if you hit that 4 rep range in the tank a little more, it's definitely going to start to feel a little harder, but you should still feel like you could still get some good reps out. So up to that working weight, we're going to get into it.
That's it. So without further ado, I'm going to pop a timer on. We're going to work on 2.5 minutes. So you'll do your reps, and whatever we have left on the clock is going to be your rest here, okay? So get yourself set up on that bench, all right? Grab those dumbbells in hand. Do a minimum of 8 reps, push towards 10, leaving 5 or less in the tank, ideally 4 or 5. Ready to rock and roll. Set up, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go for it. Shoulders back and down as we drive the elbows towards the hips. Fully retract those shoulder blades and squeeze nice and tight, controlling back down to the bottom point, and repeat. If you're thinking about your breath, some people like to hold at the top, or you can exhale and squeeze. Control on the way down and plenty of intent as you drive the elbows back towards the hips and squeeze super tight for me. 8 to 10 reps. If you're not counting, let's do 2 more. The classic personal trainer, 2 more. And then you have your breather as we go in and we track with La here, okay? So with Lana, guys.
All right, guys, let's get it done. So checking out what we are on for our prone row there. So first things first, how much weight did you just use? How many reps did you do? Did you count? It would be in that 8 to 10 range, hopefully. And then what is in the tank there? So have a think about, mentally envision how many more you feel like you could have done whilst you were still getting that really nice squeeze at the top range. Now, if you think it's 5 or more, we can go up in weight, but if you feel like you're at that point where you're like, yeah, 4 absolute max, 5 absolute max, then you're at the sweet spot. You found a good spot for this week. We can stay on that weight. Whew! How'd they feel?
They felt really good.
Yeah, they felt really good for me as well. For that
I love
first
this
set.
exercise.
Yeah.
Apart from having like the box and the bench and the dumbbells, you know, sometimes in the gym I've had a spare bench in front of me to put these on. Somebody's looking at me like, come on mate, you don't need 2 benches.
Yeah, probably not.
No, it was quiet when I went. It was quiet when I went in there.
Yeah.
And then by the time I got to my second set, there was fucking 12 people looking for a bench.
Someone definitely came to get the bench.
They really did.
Yeah.
So I moved to a box, but that's fine.
All right, plenty of time on the clock still, guys. If you need little sips of water in between, please do. Whew.
Yeah, 30 seconds. Ready to rock and roll. It is hot in our gym today.
It's just hot in Byron Bay, Australia, in general at the
Good
moment.
England.
Yeah, it's been hot.
Yeah, pretty warm, muggy, but
Middle of
how
summer.
good has the ocean been?
So nice.
Yeah.
Very blessed. Hashtag blessed.
10 seconds until you're on. So get yourself set up, straddle that bench, chest down, boobs over the top, and then ready to rock and roll. Grab those dumbbells in hand, and we are on. So fully stretch forwards every time. Set the shoulders, arch the back, and squeeze the shoulder blades tight. If you leave your head hanging down, then you're probably going to round your back. So lift it a tiny bit as you do your row. And work on that squeeze and retraction of the shoulder blades. So pinch them tight at the top. No compromise on that squeeze. Every single one good. Minimum of 8, push towards 10. 5 or less in the tank. Boom. Second set. These look good.
They're feeling good. I did do less reps that time just because I know it's only week 2. So I want to make sure I've got still reps in the tank. It was definitely getting a little challenging towards the end. So I didn't want to push it too much. All right, let's track again, guys. You know the deal now. Set 2, popping in how much weight we just used, how many reps we did, and again, what's in the tank. So this is our time to reflect on that set. Think about what we did. Think about what we could do better. If you ever need to pause us and have a look at the video so you get that visual, please do. A lot of us can be visual learners as well, and that can help. Or if you feel like you need to film yourself, send it in. We can give you a form review as well so you can get the most out of each exercise. Whew. All right, we have just over a minute left. We're going for our third and final set from here. We're thinking about those 4 to 5 reps in the tank. So be honest with yourself. Make sure you're maintaining form because we are still in week 2. We're still just trying to get that good form. We're trying to build that solid base. So don't be a hero here. Don't go too heavy too soon.
I don't feel a burn in this, but like the squeeze got harder.
Yeah, you don't feel a burn.
No.
Right? Like you'll feel a squeeze, but then it gets harder to get that range, right?
Sometimes I get a little bit crampy in my low lats if I arch off a tiny bit more and like those back muscles really turning on. But yeah, it's not like with a leg, like your lunges or something, or your chest press or your shoulder press where you get a deep, deep burn. That's pretty unlikely because we're trying to pull into that squeeze instead of force out of that hard position, all right? 15 seconds.
Last round.
Stop wherever you need to stop with the reps to keep 5 or 4 in the tank. We'll do this one, we'll plan next week, and we'll move on swiftly. Okay, let's get it done for us. Third and final set. Perfect form, perfect squeeze every time. Protract, reach all the way forwards, shoulder set, big squeeze and arch of that back. Feel those shoulder blades come together behind us. Control, powerful pull again. That's it, guys. Nail the reps. As you get higher through the reps, stay focused. Don't lose the form.
Oh, they're getting hard.
Nice.
All right,
Cool.
set 3 done.
Yeah, I know. 3 sets in the baggie.
All right, I'm gonna put those weights away, guys. Catch your breath, little breather. We're gonna get planning for next week while Jack finishes off his third and final effort. So pop in what we just did for that last set when you are ready, what weight you did, how many reps, what was left in the tank. Once you are done there, we click on the exercise name and we plan what we're doing next week. So we'll delete what we already had in there. We're gonna write in our warm-up effort. So you are either gonna do 1 or 2 warm-up efforts next week, depending on what you feel will work best for you, okay? So if you feel like you wanna have a build next week, you can do an 8 and a 5 rep warm-up. Or if you're just happy sticking with the 8 to 10 reps for one set, that is okay. We'll have a chat about that next week as well. Find your working weight first though, guys. So whatever you're planning to work on, pop in that. So I'm gonna go for 12.5 kilos next week for my working effort. I'm writing 12 kg working. And then above that, I'm gonna pop in 8 kilo and 10 kilo for my warm up. I'm gonna do 2 warm ups next week.
Love it.
Whew.
How many reps are they gonna be?
For the warm up,
Yeah.
8 and 5.
Nice.
So once we've done that, guys, press done, exit out. We are going into a standing shoulder press next. You will need a bit of space, dumbbells, but you can get rid of your bench now. Find that space and we'll see you soon.
You. So guys, if you haven't already, feel free to try and join our app, join the crew, okay? If you're checking on pen and paper in your notes and it's a little bit clunky, like what are they on about? Click here, leave a note here. Try it out, it's 7 days for free. If you cancel within that 7 days, we're not gonna charge you, we're not gonna hold you accountable. We will have your personal details though, okay? No, so feel free to try it out, $15 Aussie a week. We'd love to have you as part of the crew. And yeah, appreciate you.
All right, we are going for our standing shoulder press here. So it is an overhead vertical push. We're gonna be working our shoulders as well as triceps, gonna kick in and assist there as well. For our rep range, we are doing 9 to 12 reps. So 12 reps is getting that a little bit spicy, guys, but we'll work through it, okay? We'll build up to it. For our warm up, we have the option right now to do 1 or 2. If you want to do a second warm-up effort, after this first one that we will do together, you can just pause us, do your second workout warm-up effort, and then join back in for the first working set, okay? So for this effort, guys, we'll be pressing overhead. So you're going to need your dumbbells for your warm-up. Now, if you haven't already clicked on the exercise name to see what you planned for last week, please do that now. And then find what weight you need and we'll get into it. So for our first warm-up effort here, we're gonna grab our dumbbells up and we're going for 8 reps. So setting up with those dumbbells on top of our shoulders, we got a vertical forearm with the weights on top of elbows. Nice and tight at the bottom, palms facing towards each other. Now we're gonna press our hands up overhead, turn palms away at the top, hands are over shoulders, extend those elbows and then control back down into that position you started with palms towards. Let's work through our reps now. Big press up overhead, push the head through at the top, driving down. Now while you're working through these, make sure you're thinking about your base. Tucking the hips under, glutes are engaged, ribs are down, so that core is working to support the lower back as well. Pressing up and then dropping down. Make sure those elbows don't drop too low, so we want to keep them in front of the body so that the forearms are vertical and the fists stay up to the ceiling. You should be done there, guys. If you feel like you're not warm enough and you want to do an extra one, pause this now. Otherwise, we are going to get into our first working effort in about 30 seconds. Anything to add there, Jack? How'd that feel?
Just swap your weights around, get ready to rock and roll. The things that I like to think about on this is, yeah, those butt cheeks now on a solid base so my legs don't bounce and I don't lose any power in there or get any assistance from it. And then when you start stacked with your elbows tucked in close, palms face each other, and we drive up hard and turn the palms to face forwards. And at the top, we finish with a straight line from those hands down to elbow, shoulder, hip, knee, ankle. So we're nicely stacked the whole way through the body, all right? So we're gonna work on 2.5 minutes again. We're gonna go for a minimum of 9 reps, pushing towards 12. We're gonna have 5 in the tank, ideally at the end. Look, with the higher reps, when we get towards 12, it might be that you kind of find yourself, oh yeah, I'm not too bad at 9 reps, and at 12, you're like, holy shit, I can only do 2 more. That's fine. Next time, we'll just take a rep or 2 off, okay? So grab your working weights out, ready to rock and roll.
All right, let's do it, guys. Let's set ourselves up. Hands will come up towards those shoulders, and then we're gonna have those elbows. Jack just got 2 different weights out there, guys.
I got wrong weights out of 50 to 17.5, although that ain't right.
All right, so we're set up in that bottom position. Nice big deep breath in, tuck the hips under, core is engaged. Breathe out as you drive up hard, press those hands overhead, turn the palms away. Controlling back into that bottom position, making sure we're setting those shoulder blades in tight. We're locked on strict. Breathe in on the way down, hold the breath, drive up and out, hands come over shoulders at the top, breathe out at the top there. Counting your reps, you should be reaching towards the end of that set, guys. We're going for 9 to 12, control down, big push back up overhead. Lock it on tight, stay strong, push, push, push. All right, how many you get out, Jack?
Got my 12.
Nice, good work. All right, guys, if you're still working, get those last rep or two out.
If you're still working,
done.
I reckon you forgot to count, because mine were like kind of slow. But yeah, grab out that phone or your piece of paper and let's track this set for us. So you're gonna go in, fill out the weight you did, how many reps you did, and then how many more you think you could do. And then at the end there, if you said more than 5 reps, just go up by an adjustment. So whether it's a kilo, 2.5 kilos, wherever you are at with your dumbbells at your gym or at your home, wherever you're training. And then come in and have a breather and get yourself ready to rock and roll with those. The whole time through that set, I was just thinking, like, I'm at 15 kilos here. I should be able to do the 20 kilos for like 10 reps, pretty cruisy. But I got to 10 reps and they felt really hard. So look, I probably have 1 or 2 less than the 5 in reserve, but I kind of know where I have been pretty recently, so I'm kind of planning ahead and thinking I'll be at the 20s, hopefully. But that's just me and my ego fighting one another. Yeah, so make sure you got the right weight out for that next set, and we're going to get into it. 45 seconds. How are yours?
Yeah, good. Same thing. I got to 9 and I was like, they felt okay. I'll get to the top of the range. And by 12, I was like, yep, they're getting hard.
A little bit of spice.
Yes. But I'm going to stay on that weight, try and get 3 sets of 12 out, and then next week I can build and drop my reps down.
Yeah, and with the shoulders, I often find the second set is easier.
True. Yeah, you
Third
feel like
set's
you
hardest.
get that. Yeah.
So hopefully this set is going to feel smooth, buttery smooth and cruisy. There's the hoping, right?
Hoping.
Yeah.
All right, 10 seconds, guys. So let's set ourselves up, get ready, get pumped. We're going to pick those weights up so we can start right on that buzzer. So get yourself set up, get nice and aligned, ribs stacked over hips, core is engaged, tuck those hips under. Pressing those hands up overhead, coming back down nice and tight with palms facing towards each other. Don't drop too low. We still want tension at that bottom position. Knuckles stay to the ceiling the whole time. Vertical forearms. Breathe in on the way down, breathe out, push overhead, turn the palms away, stick the head through. Let's go. Stay tight, stay strong. The burn will be coming in now. You know it, you can do it. Stay strong, stay tight. Jack, got your 12 out again.
Got my 12.
Good stuff. On the grind.
Got my 12, but I don't know if the 17.5s will feel good as well. So I'm just going to stick with these for this week and try the 17s next week. It is only week 2 after all, so I want to leave myself somewhere to go. I felt tight in my right shoulder where we did those single doubles a couple programs back, and I really felt them niggly there. So I'm just going to nurse that a little bit, listen to it, and if it starts to rear its ugly head and doesn't feel good, I'll stretch out in between the sessions, get some mobility work on the shoulders going. Whew.
Oh,
sweaty as, hey? We're going to be all shiny in the video for this.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Plenty of time, guys. Did you just track then?
No, I'm just about to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so track that set for us. You know the drill already. Week 2, you're cruising. You've got the weight you did, the amount of reps you did, and then how many more you think you could do. And ask that same question, okay? Was it more than 5? Yes. Consider going up because you've got the 3 reps to play with between 9 and 12. You can always stop there to keep your 5 or 4 in the tank. If it was like 3 or less and you were at 9 reps, I would definitely go down. Be nice to yourself because we've got to move up over that program. You can always try for 3 sets of that weight next week. And if you're somewhere in the middle with about 5 in the tank, then I'll just stick with that weight. And then to finish strong on this one, 3rd set coming up in 30 seconds.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, all the time.
We love that rest.
Yeah, it's good.
You'll be begging for more by maybe even next week.
That's what she said.
Oh, shush.
Mind out the gutter, Jackie boy.
All right. 10 seconds. Let's get it done. 9 to 12 reps. Shoulder press. We move on to legs after this. So upper body's going to get a little breather. Mentally, it's nice to get through. So we're setting up, guys. Vertical forearms, hands over elbows, pressing up overhead. Breathe out, butt cheeks and abs. Butt cheeks and abs, butt cheeks and abs. We're going to get that printed on a t-shirt one day. Breathe in on the way down, staying nice and tight at that bottom position. Palms towards each other. Press and drive. Hard overhead. Let's stay strong. Maintain position through the torso. No arching. Lock it on, get that full range as you turn those palms away, sticking the head through, getting it done. Feel the spice, feel the burn.
Feel the burn, she says. Love
Woo.
it. Hopefully that set is in the bag. Third and final one done. Straight over, no messing around, waiting to track for this set. Go in, track that final set, fill out those 3 columns. Give you 20 seconds to do that. And then after you've done that, let's go and plan for next week. So have a little look at your 3 sets. Did you get 3 sets of 12 with 5 in the tank? If it was even 4 in the tank, you're going to go up next week. If you're in that rep range and you had about 5 in the tank between 9 and 12, then you're going to stay at that weight and try and get to 3 sets of 12 next week. If you had to drop down in any of those sets, you're just going to try and do 3 sets on that weight, okay? So go in for me, click that exercise name, remove your note from last week, fill in the working weight that you are going to do that we just decided on. And if your goal was to get 3 sets because you only got 2 last week, you can make a little note in there too. And then we're going to go backwards and we're going to work on 2 warm-up sets for next week. So choose 2 weights that you think will get you to that weight comfortably. We're going to do 8 reps on the first one, 5 on the second one. For example, I'm going to do the 17.5 next week. I'm going to warm up on 9 and 12.5 for 8 and 5, and then I'll be good to go. Click backwards out of that one, swipe on over, and we're going to make our way to our lateral lunge. So you're probably in a good space for it. If not, get some more space around you. Click through to that next exercise, you just swipe over, check out the lateral lunge. Plan what you're going to do, might be just starting a body weight, and then let's get into it, hey?
Let's go.
Well, we are cruising through these. We're going to jump into the third exercise of the day. We've got our lateral lunge, 7 to 10 on each leg, so we're adding a couple more reps on last week. And then for that warm-up, you've probably written in what you want to do. If you didn't, then we're going to start body weight. And we're just going to run through the form very quickly so that I don't have to talk and talk and talk whilst you're doing the reps. And the same cues apply for both movements, the Cossack squat where you are static with our feet wide, and the lateral lunge where you're stepping in and out. The muscles that you're working are still very similar, it's just a little bit less explosive, so we're going to work the adductor, the quads, the glutes mainly. Okay, so that lower leg or that leg is working a lot. So for this, guys, you want to find your perfect width by stepping out nice and wide, and if you're doing your moving part, then you can just go in and out to that position once you're there. It's going to be outside shoulder width, a little bit of a stretch feeling in the groin. I have my feet turned slightly out, a lot of people do, some people are dead straight though, okay? If you are static, stay in that position. If you are moving, go back and stand with your feet together. And then if you're doing the moving part, you'll step out to the side. And then from here, the cues are exactly the same for both of the movements. We go bum back, knee out, condense down that standing leg or the working one. You can roll that foot across if you need, and then push back to your starting point. It's just a bit more explosive, all the way back to your starting point on the lateral lunge, or you just go back to that static position on the Cossack squat. So now go into yours for me, whichever variation you are doing. I just want you to do 8 on each leg for me. We're going to go out, bum back, knee out, push back to your starting point. Bum back, knee out, sit back to your starting point. If you need to get lower and there's a bit of strain in the groin, then you can just roll the foot of the straight leg that is staying long on the inside there. Okay, and if you want to know how low to go, as low as you can without lifting your heel or rounding your back too much, okay? So knee goes out, bum goes back, and we should be partway through our second side now. As we go over, I'm spicing already.
Yeah, I'm feeling those inner thighs and groin working already. Yeehaw.
Cool, so a fair bit of talk on that. I'm going to try not to say much more in our working sets. If you need some more detail, either rewind or go to that in-depth video tutorial and you can see what's going on, or you can just look at us do them. And Lana is going to do hers first. So we're going to go into another warm-up set. No?
Really?
No?
No, that's enough for me.
Okay. We're going to go into the working weight that we popped in from last week now. If you feel like you need to do a couple more or loosen off the hips before we go into that, then just take a pause on the phone and then just go into that for us before we go into the set. But if you are joining us and joining Lana now, we're going to go into our lateral lunge. Okay, so the Cossack squat or lateral lunge, get into your starting point with feet together or nice and wide. And we're going to work on a 3-minute timer today. Okay, so you're going to go for a minimum of 7 on each leg, pushing towards 10 on each leg. We're stepping out to our weak leg first every single time, and then we match it on our strong leg. So stepping out onto your weak leg, we're going to go in 3, 2, and 1. Let's do it. We're stepping out. If you've got that dumbbell in hand, you've got it in the side of the straight leg, reaching down towards the ankle, and then pushing back to your starting point. Hinging over at the hip slightly, other arm can go out to the side or on the hip. And we're just condensing down, getting as low as you can comfortably. If you want to try rolling the foot or lifting up onto that ankle, then you can, or that heel. And then when you've done your 7 to 10, you can swap it over, okay? If something felt better or you changed it, do the same on this side. If you're still playing around with the foot position, feel free to do so. All right, get into these reps for me. Bum back, knee out, control down, explode back to the top. Every rep looking the same, feeling the groove of these now. Whew. And we should be just about done on those, okay? So I'm going to level up today. I'm going to try my moving ones and see how that feels.
Let's go.
And let you guys check it out with love.
All right, guys, you might find in that single leg exercise that you get your heart rate up a little. Walk it out. Nice low, deep breaths there. And then we will track. So we're going to pop in what weight we used. If you used a weight, you may still just be at 0, which is also body weight. That is a-okay to nail that form. How many reps did you get? And what do you feel like you had in reserve with good form? So have a think about that. If you have over 4 to 5 reps, you can increase. If you feel like you still need to nail down on that form a bit, increase your range of motion, stay on that weight, and keep on grinding through for the next set. Plenty of time still, guys. Just over a minute on the clock, so let's chill. Whew. They're such a challenging exercise, but they're good.
They are, and I found that I was slightly different side to side. So when I stepped to my right side, I was a bit tighter, and because of the tension, I found it hard to get the consistency in the step and the distance. Left side, nailed it every single time, felt good, buttery, smooth, and great. And then right side was more challenging. So I think from next week, if I write at my notes, I'll start on the right side. And I might do a couple of extra warm-up hip adductor rocks or a couple of more warm-up reps, just holding low in that position. But yeah, if it feels a little bit different on each side, that's totally normal.
Yeah.
Hips are different on each side, tightness is different, previous injuries, how you stand, how you walk, how you sleep, might all contribute to that, so that's totally fine, okay? 20 seconds, little
Round
breather.
2.
And then start thinking about it, okay? We're gonna be on in 10 seconds. If you did anything different in that first set that felt great, you wanna try anything different in this set, think about that. And make sure you focus as you get to rep 8, 9, and 10 for me. Let's get it done, skis, all right? So, into your weak side, working on getting lower on this set with the knee still tracking out, bum still going back, and it should be condensing down with the leg. Don't just lean over with the body and feel like you're getting super low. Push yourself towards 10 if you can, whichever variation you are doing. If you're using that dumbbell, I don't mind how low it goes. If it goes close to the floor, great. If it just goes close to the knee, that's totally fine. Don't reach forwards with the body more to make it look like you're going lower. Okay, do what your legs can do. Hopefully we're on that second side now, matching what we did on that weaker side. If you're even, nice work. And let's push it. So explosive back to the top point. Same drop each time, pushing the range, pushing the stretch. Stay focused and tight. Keep it powerful on the way up. Control that descent. And hopefully we're pretty much there, all right? Nice work, guys. That was a solid minute effort there.
Oh, yeah, that was hard. All right, breathe. Woo. Breathe and track. Breathe and track. So set 2, guys, same deal. We just pop in here, what weight we did, how many reps we did, how many are in the tank. So if it is getting easier, maybe you need to make it harder by adding weight or trying the dynamic version if you're still on that static squat. If you are finding it hard enough, just stay on that weight for your third and final effort or go up, okay? So this will be our last effort. We've still got just over a minute. Pop in those efforts, and then we can just chill. Jack's getting his reps out here, looking smooth. There's lots of clicks going on in those knees though.
Always click. Ankles today.
Is it bad if things click?
If it doesn't hurt, no.
Right.
And it normally does.
That's it.
So, look, the reason, guys, I could progress to the moving version after only 1 week was because I've demoed this exercise 15,000 times this week to all of our in-person crew. So if you think, oh fuck, he's up already, I'm still feeling super tight, it's because I've done about 300 reps in between our last session. So if you want to feel looser and progress faster, you can just do some bodyweight ones or stay low side to side in between the sessions, just to get you moving and get some more mobility in those hips.
Boom. All right, we're almost there. One more effort. Then after this, we go into a superset for our chest and core. So let's crank out this last effort of legs, guys. Big effort to finish here.
Man, I love full body because it's just a one leg exercise.
It is nice,
and fucking
isn't it?
done. When there's days where there's two, I'm like, I feel cheated.
Nah, I love it.
Weight up. Ready to roll. And we are on, people. All right, let's get after it. Goal is 7 to 10. Fighting for about 5 in the tank. Or like a 7 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10 difficulty. If you're feeling a little bit crampy on the adductor, that's totally normal where the legs are getting that fatigue. Think about the form, stay focused towards the end. Hopefully we're a little bit looser and getting a little bit lower. Exploding back to the starting point and then moving over to that second side. And let's get it done, okay, crew? So 7 to 10, matching what we did on that first side. Immaculate form, knee out, bum back, sitting into it, stretching into that groin as we get low, leaning over at the hip but not rounding the back. Think about sticking the butt out, a little bit of an arch in the back there. Reach down with that weight but don't overreach, as low as your legs can get you, push tight. And finish strong, nice work.
Done.
I just had to pause for a moment because I was like, push tight. What the fuck is push tight? Sorry, guys.
Some of the stuff
I know,
that
you come
comes
out and just roll with it, just move on.
I didn't even notice you said that, so.
Yeah, I know. You guys probably didn't
You just
either,
called yourself out then.
Yeah.
All right, guys, you know the deal. Walk it out, catch your breath. Let's track that final effort there and plan what we want to do next week.
If you need 5 seconds, just take it.
All right, so in here we're popping what weight we just did, how many reps we did, and what is left in the tank, okay? Once you have that in, you're gonna click on the exercise name, delete the note from last week, and we'll plan what we're gonna do next week. So next week, I reckon we'll go for 2 warm-up efforts. We'll definitely do a body weight effort just to get that range of motion because it is our first and only leg exercise. Then we'll do a weighted effort if you're up to weights, and then we'll build again to our top working effort. So let's think about what we're gonna do for our top working effort first. Pop that in. I'm gonna do 6 kgs, then I'm gonna work backwards. I'll do body weight for my warm up for my first effort, and then I'll also do 4 kilos for my second warm up, okay? Once you have that in, press done, exit out, and we are gonna move on to our chest fly and Russian twist superset. You will need a bench again, okay? And then a bit of space next to you, or you could also do your Russian twist on a bench if you are limited. So we'll see you there soon. Let's go.
So for the chest fly and the Russian twist here, for the fly, well, for all of them, we're gonna do 3 sets this week. Last week, we only did 2. What I want you to do is start on a lighter weight than last week for the first set, or where we kind of begun last week, and then move to our working weight on the second one. Then we just do an extra set after that. Make sure you've got the 2 weights out for both the fly and the Russian twist. If you need a heavier one for the twist or a lighter one, just make sure you've got that ready to roll. If it's not ready, pause us now. But if not, we're gonna go into our fly to start. Before you do the first rep, I'm gonna talk you through it. Feel free to have a little look at your phone just to see what we're doing. And then we can jump into it once you've done 2 or 3 of Lana showing, okay? So for the chest fly here, guys, start seated on your bench and your bench is flat. You've got 2 dumbbells in your hand, 1 in each, and you're gonna lie down on that bench. We're gonna start by setting our base. So bring those feet back so the heels are just off the floor here. Make sure you take any hair ties out or clips or anything that are right there to annoy you. And then from here, we arch the back, bring the shoulder blades back and down, and we have our hands straight in front of our shoulders with palms facing each other. We initiate the movement by taking the hands out into a V shape, which brings our hands wider than the elbows. From here, we carry on going out with the hands and start to bend our elbows, so we go down to a W shape. When you finish at the bottom, our shoulder blades are back and down, our chest is as big as we can make it, and our hands are kind of up in line with the shoulders here. As you come back up, we come round, back to our starting point, and then we repeat, okay? So at the bottom, guys, your hands should still be wider than the elbows. If they are stacked, then it's gonna be too easy and become more of a press. So grab your dumbbells if you haven't already, come in and start this movement. So start by sitting on the bench, lying down, slide the feet back. If you're already doing some, carry on trying them out, and then we're gonna go into a few more. So arch that back, shoulder blades back and down. Palms start facing each other in front of the shoulders, a V shape, W shape with the elbows high in line with the shoulders, hands wider than the elbows, and then come back around to the top position. Feel that chest work, and then all the way back down. The whole time, let's just do 2 more of these. Your chest should be out, shoulder blades should be back and down, and on the way down, we're breathing out, and on the way up, we're breathing out. Did I say out and out?
Out
In
and
on the
out,
way down, out on the way up. All right, so swapping over to our second movement, you're gonna go into your Russian twist for me here. So you're gonna be seated on the floor or on your bench if there's no room around you. And then we're gonna go feet together, knees together, leaning as far back as you can without tipping over. Hands on the end of the dumbbell or grabbing the plate, med ball, baby, whatever you wanna grab. And then we're just gonna twist at the shoulders, but not the hips. Okay, so twist shoulders side to side. Each side is 1. We're going to do 20 reps to start this first one off here, and make sure that we're using the outside of the body. You can round the back a little bit, twist the shoulders, squeeze tight, but you do not want to be pedaling the legs very much at all. Try and keep them nice and strict for me. As you get closer to 20, so we're probably in those mid-teens around now, it should start to get harder. Squeeze the abs, think about the outside of the body working. How many at Lance?
24.
Oh, she's doing the extras. So you guys should pretty much be done there. If you want to get closer to 30 because it was easy, then feel free to push to that. And then as soon as you are done, pop that weight down. And you're going to track with Lana. And then the rep range on that one for the next one is going to be 8 to 10 for the chest fly, 12 to 15 for the Russian twist. So that's 24 to 30 reps. And I'm going to jump in and get my first set of chest flies done. Lance.
Nice. All right, guys. So popping in, first effort chest fly. So what weight did you do? How many reps did you do? And what did you have in a tank? Like Jack said, that should have been a little lighter. You should have felt like you had a good 5 reps in the tank there, maybe even more. We're gonna go up in weight for that for sure, okay? Everyone's gonna go up in weight there. If you did find it super challenging, obviously you can stay, but we'll just make a note of that as well. And then same deal, scroll on down from there to the Russian twist. For the Russian twist, again, pop in what weight you used, how many reps you did, and how many reps are in reserve.
I think I'm going to cramp in my adductors doing these Russian twists.
From there, guys, once you've got both those efforts in, you can pull out your next weights for your chest fly, and we will get ready once Jack has finished his Russian twist, which will be in about 30-ish seconds. So a little breather, sip of water if you need. 30-ish seconds. Then we'll get ready for round 2. So we'll be doing a total of 3 efforts of these, working that chest, working that core.
Remember a little note from last week, if you felt some shoulder pain and less chest, try arching the back and squeezing the shoulder blades tight behind you, but we offer that variation where you can turn the palms so they face forwards or down the body a little bit. Thumbs turn in, little fingers turn out as you do the V and W. Okay, for the next 2 sets, we're going to work on 3 minutes, guys. We're going to start with our chest fly, so get lying down and set up. I'm going to flick this timer on in 10 seconds. Feet back, back arch, shoulder blades back and down. 3, 2, and 1. V's and W's. Feel free to add that turn of the hand if you need to for the shoulder. Big breath in on the way down, out on the way up. Not out and out. And nail those reps for me. Chest out, V shape at the top, or as we come out, hands carrying going out into that W shape at the bottom. As it gets harder and as you push through the set, don't let the elbows come down towards the hips, okay? Keep the strain on the chest. Getting close to the end, stay focused. Hands wider than the elbows at the bottom. Big W shape. And hopefully that's 8 to 10 reps with about 5 in the tank. If it's less than 5, that's totally fine, but we can always take a rep or 2 off in that next one. Into our Russian twist, getting those abs burning, okay, those obliques down the side, locked and loaded, feet together, knees together, lean back, twist the shoulders, and working through the outside of the body. Consciously squeezing the outside of the body, those obliques, to turn us every single time. We're doing a minimum of 12 each side to 15 each side, so 24 to 30 total. Sorry for all those numbers messed up your count. Lean back further. Don't sit up and make it easier for yourself. Push yourself, squeeze hard, keep breathing. Don't just turn the hands, twist the whole shoulder, try not to pedal the legs. Squeeze the core hard. And hopefully we're almost there with a 1.5 minute rest. I had my serious hand out there. You know when your parents tell you off? I had my hand out the whole time. Eden was doing that to me to take the piss the other day. My little girl was going, Daddy, we've got to do... Yeah, I know, she had the hand out to tell me.
Putting you in your place.
Oh, she already does. She's 3 years old.
All right. I wonder what everyone's tactic to counting is there for those Russian twists. I counted to 20 and then I went back to 1. So I didn't lose my count. So I did 20 reps and then I counted back up to 10 for my 30. All right, guys, let's track what we just did there. Chest fly first. So scrolling down to that superset. Chest fly, what weight? How many reps? How many in reserve? Definitely should have felt that bit harder if we went up in weight, but still question yourself if it was still fine, if it was still okay, 4 to 5 reps in the tank or more, you can go up in weight again. You can keep building there. If it felt enough for you, stay on that today. Same deal with the Russian twist. Once you're done there, pop it in and then think about what you want to do for your third and final effort, okay? If you're just getting 24 reps out, maybe you want to try and crank those 30 reps for your final set. We have one final set, guys. We're going to get started in 15 seconds. Get pumped. From here, we only have our push-ups to finish, okay? Yeah, hopefully you didn't forget about those push-ups. They're coming up still. I was sore after those push-ups last week, even though I got 11 reps. I'll have to check on my notes. Maybe
it was 12.
It was 11 and I failed on my 12th.
Ah, okay. So I remember you saying you thought you were going to get like 10, 11.
Yeah. All right, here we go, round 3.
Let's get it done. So nail the form, guys. No rushing, perfect form. Have somebody look at you in the gym and think, fuck, that person knows what they're doing. Slide those heels back. Big arch in the back. Shoulder blades back and down. Big breath in on the way down. Elbows go out, staying at about shoulder height. V shape, W shape. Keep the chest up even as you come up. We're trying to isolate those pecs, those chest muscles. If you feel too much shoulder, feel free to turn the hands. So thumbs come in, little fingers go out. Squeeze the shoulder blades tight on the way down. Keep the chest out on the way up. And finish that set strong. Crew, getting it done. Home
So
straight.
close.
Alrighty, into that Russian twist for me. Saying super strict. I used Lana's 20 then 10 method. I left a 9 next to Lana, so she's going to use it this time. And let's get after it. So feet together or close, knees together or close, lean back. Twist, lean back, lean back. Make sure you don't just throw the arms, okay? Slow it down. Consciously use those abs. Lana can lean back a little bit more. No bludgeon, guys. Make it as hard as you can for yourself. Round the back a little bit if you need to use those abs more. And now we get to that 20 and we restart our count to get close to that 10 where we can. Push towards the 30 reps. Nice. I don't need many left in the tank here. You can go to 0 in the tank if you need. Just no back pain, the goal.
Boom. They're done.
Just nailed it. Nice work, crew. Set of push-ups to go. Lancy's going to chat with you if she can breathe. She's a bit puffed right now.
I'm good. All right, let's pop that in, legend. So that was our final effort there. Sit down, catch your breath. We do still have our push-ups, but let's track what we just did. Really good work. So we did our chest fly first, Third and final set, what weight did you use? How many reps you do? What was left in the tank? Once you have done that, we're straight away going to track what we're going to do for that next week. Yeah. Then what we're going to do, click on the exercise name. Delete last week's note. We're going to do a warm-up effort again next week. So 3 efforts again next week. If you found a really good weight for you this week on that third and final effort, that can be your working effort. So pop that in first and then work backwards for the warm-up, all right? Then from here, guys, exit out of that once you're done. Same deal for the Russian twist. Track what you just did today, what weight you just did, how many reps you got out, what was left in the tank, and same deal, click on the exercise name, delete last week's note, and pop in what weight you're going to use next week. So if you just did 3 sets on the same weight, let's go up next week, yeah? Now you don't just have to go up by 1 kilo, you can go up by a couple of kilos on these, okay? All right, exiting out from there, we are going into our push-ups. So find yourself a bit of space. It's only 1 set, guys, so we've had plenty of rest now. We will see you in about 30 seconds. No, we will see you really soon.
Straight into our last exercise, 1 set, push-ups. So if you need to pause and get your bar set up on your J hooks, then feel free to stop us and do that, okay? I'm going to do my set in silence here. I'm going to take my hat off because last week it was banging a little bit, flurrying a little flow of the air. So I'm going to take my hat off and do mine so you don't have to listen to that. But make sure that they are slow and controlled movements. Chest touches the floor every time. I was too intent on the reps last time. I needed to slow down a little bit, okay? So get yourself set up for your push-ups. If you're still setting up your bar, pause me for a second. We're going to go in and we're going to go into a nice solid push-up position, long body, elbows at 45 degrees.
I love push-ups.
I love push-ups
I'm
every single rep.
so excited for this exercise.
All right, nose goes out to make a triangle with the hands, feeling strong at the bottom with the chest out to touch the floor. Let's do it. As many reps as you can possibly can. We're going to keep on talking until Lana finishes. She's going to try and get 12 or more to beat last week. Let's get after it, guys. So tight with that body. Do not let the hips sag. Nose out to make the triangle with the hands. Chest touches the bar or floor every single time. As it gets hard and slow, we don't need any reps in reserve here. It's 1 set of max efforts. Good. And again, summon everything you've got. I want you to go until you cannot push up off the floor and you have to use those knees, or the bar is our step through moment. Get it?
Oh, that was
How many did you get, Lance?
13.
Ah, she knew the numbers. Hopefully you guys are still pushing. If not, stand up, chat with Lance, and then you guys will be done for the session. I'm taking my hat off now. Thank you very much. Lovely session. Appreciate you guys more than anything, and hopefully we'll see you for week 3 next week.
Yoo-hoo. All right, guys, let's pop it in. Last effort there. What reps did you just do? All right. If you used a bar, you can click on the exercise name and pop in what hole height you did it on. If there's not a number in the gym, just measure it up against your body. So it could be about hip height or chest height. So use that as your guide. Pop that in your notes. Exit out. You've got that final exercise tracked. Jack's doing his push-ups here. Push-ups. Push-ups. And we are done and dusted. Absolutely pleasure training together. We'll see you next week. Week 3, shit's gonna start getting serious. Let's go.